Every car driving through rain right now, every delivery truck, every bus carrying children to school this morning, every taxi weaving through city traffic. All of them depend on one invention that most people have never thought about. Walk into any corner store, any gas station, any restaurant in any city on Earth, and you will find people who have used this invention thousands of times but could not tell you who created it. They flip a small lever, and glass becomes crystal clear. They expect it to work. They trust it with their lives. And the story of how this simple mechanism came to exist is one of the most heartbreaking tales of genius and obsession in modern history. Think about that for a second. Right now, as you listen to this, millions of people are depending on something invented by a man whose name the car companies refused to say for 30 years. A man who lost his marriage, his job, and nearly his sanity fighting for recognition. A man who turned down $30 million because what he wanted was not money. It was something far more precious and far more elusive. If stories like this fascinate you, subscribe and join me every week as we uncover more of the stories behind the headlines. To understand what Robert Kearns gave the world, you have to understand what driving was like before him. Picture yourself behind the wheel in 1963. You are driving through Detroit on a drizzly October evening. Not a downpour, just that annoying mist that fogs your windshield every few minutes. Your choices are simple and frustrating. Turn on your wipers and listen to rubber blades scrape across nearly dry glass, making that awful squeegee sound that sets your teeth on edge. Or leave them off and watch your vision slowly disappear behind a film of water and road grime. There was no in-between. Wipers were either on or off, full speed or nothing. So drivers did what people have always done when technology fails them. They improvised. Some reached over every 30 seconds to manually flip the wiper switch. Others pulled over repeatedly to wipe their windshields with rags. The lucky ones had passengers who became human wiper controllers, turning the switch on and off at irregular intervals. I still remember the first time I saw one of these in action. Growing up on the farm, we did not have this. And I can tell you, driving in light rain was an art form of timing and frustration. The problem was not just annoying, it was dangerous. Reduced visibility caused accidents. Distracted drivers caused accidents. And everyone accepted this as simply the way things were. But what nobody knew in 1963 was that the solution would come from the most unlikely source. A man whose damaged eye would teach him to see what everyone else had missed. June 14th, 1953. Detroit. Robert Kearns is celebrating the happiest day of his life. His wedding reception is in full swing. Champagne glasses raised in toast after toast. Friends and family gathered around tables draped in white linen. The future spreads before him and his bride Mary like an open road. Then, in one random moment that would change everything, a champagne cork flies across the room and strikes him directly in the left eye. The injury was severe. Permanent damage that left him with partial vision and something else. Something that would seem like a cruel irony but would become the seed of genius. His damaged eye began to blink involuntarily at irregular intervals. Not the steady rhythm of normal blinking, but erratic, unpredictable pauses between each protective sweep of his eyelid. Most people would see only disability in this injury. Robert Kearns was not most people. He was a mechanical engineer with degrees from Case Institute of Technology, a professor at Wayne State University who understood how things worked. And as the years passed, as he drove through countless Detroit rainstorms with his family, that irregular blinking became a constant reminder of an obvious question that nobody else was asking. Why do windshield wipers move constantly when human eyes blink intermittently? Here is where it gets really interesting. In 1963, 10 years after that champagne cork changed his vision forever, Kearns was driving his Ford Galaxie through light rain when the answer came to him. Not gradually, but in a flash of understanding that felt as sudden as the cork that had started it all. What if windshield wipers could pause between sweeps, just like his damaged eye paused between blinks? What if there was an electronic brain that could control the timing? That night, he went down to his basement workshop and began building the future. For 4 years, Robert Kearns disappeared into his basement. His wife, Mary, would find him there at all hours, surrounded by circuits and resistors, testing timing mechanisms on a kitchen table turned laboratory bench. His 6 children became his research team, watching in wonder as their father built something that had never existed before. The device was elegantly simple: an electronic circuit with a variable resistor that could control pause intervals between wiper sweeps, 1 to 45 seconds of adjustable delay. It could mimic the irregular timing of his damaged eye or provide steady, predictable intervals, whatever the rain demanded. On December 1st, 1967, the United States Patent Office awarded Robert Kearns patent number 3351836 for his windshield wiper system with intermittent operation. The patent was comprehensive, covering not just the basic function but multiple aspects of variable delay systems. It was his name on the document, his basement workshop that had produced the breakthrough, his damaged eye that had inspired the solution to a problem millions of drivers faced every day. Within months, Ford Motor Company came calling, not to buy the patent outright, but to license the technology, to put Kearns' invention into millions of vehicles. The meetings were encouraging. Ford engineers studied his prototypes, visited his basement workshop, tested his timing mechanisms. For 18 months, it seemed like the perfect partnership was forming. A brilliant inventor and the resources to bring his creation to the world. What nobody knew at the time was that Ford was not interested in partnership. They were conducting the most expensive education in corporate theft in automotive history. And Robert Kearns was about to learn a lesson that would consume the rest of his life. 1969. Ford Motor Company suddenly and without explanation ended all negotiations with Robert Kearns. No licensing deal, no explanation, just silence. Then, months later, Ford introduced intermittent wipers as standard equipment on Mercury models. The technology was virtually identical to Kearns' patented design. The same electronic principles, the same timing mechanisms, the same variable delay system he had perfected in his basement. But Ford's name was on the product, not his. What invention should I cover next? By 1974, the dam had burst completely. General Motors introduced their version. Chrysler followed. Toyota, Volkswagen, virtually every major automaker on Earth was producing cars with intermittent wipers. The feature that had started as one man's solution to his own frustration became an industry standard overnight. Buyers expected it. Dealers advertised it. Car reviews praised it. And not one company mentioned the name Robert Kearns. The financial impact was staggering. Billions of dollars in added vehicle value. Millions of cars sold with this technology as a competitive advantage. An entire automotive feature segment that traced directly back to one damaged eye and one determined inventor. But Kearns received nothing. Not money, not recognition, not even acknowledgement that his idea had changed how every car on Earth cleared its windshield. When you have been around long enough, you start to see how everything connects. The same forces that create innovation often enable its theft. The resources that can bring genius to the world can also erase the genius who created it. In 1978, after watching his invention make billions for everyone except him, Robert Kearns made a decision that would define the rest of his life. He filed patent infringement lawsuits against Ford, Chrysler, and eventually 23 other automakers. The war had begun. The legal battle consumed 30 years of Robert Kearns' life. 30 years of courtrooms and depositions and appeals. He lost his job at Wayne State University. His wife Mary divorced him, unable to watch the man she loved disappear into obsession. Several of his children became estranged. The legal fees mounted into hundreds of thousands of dollars. In 1982, the stress caused a nervous breakdown that hospitalized him for months. In 1987, Ford offered him $30 million to settle the lawsuit. $30 million for a man who had spent everything he owned pursuing justice. His lawyers begged him to accept. His family pleaded with him to take the money and end the madness. Robert Kearns said no. Ford refused to admit they had stolen his invention, and admission was worth more to him than money. On January 29, 1990, a federal jury awarded Kearns $10.2 million in his lawsuit against Ford. Victory, but at a price higher than anyone should pay. In 1995, he settled with Chrysler for $30 million. Financial vindication, but the acknowledgement he craved never came. Now that is a story worth telling. Today, every vehicle on Earth incorporates some form of Kearns intermittent wiper technology. Modern cars have rain sensors, computer-controlled timing, speed variable modes. But trace any of these systems back to their origin, and you find one man's basement workshop in Detroit. One damaged eye that taught him to see differently. The global automotive wiper market is worth over $4 billion annually. Robert Kearns died on February 9, 2005, at age 77. His obituary noted that he had invented the intermittent windshield wiper. Perhaps finally the recognition he had always sought. That is the thing about great inventions. They solve one problem and create an entirely new world. Every time you touch that wiper lever, every time you adjust the delay timing, you are using the brilliant solution of a man who refused to let his vision be stolen, even when that refusal cost him everything else. If this story moved you, let me know in the comments. And remember, this video is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research.